We are ready to roll. I got all my people inside doing exactly what I told you not to do. In fact, I thought about doing the class out on my patio. I'm just going to encourage you to wear more flattish shoes. Have one pair that you can change on and off. See how it's wider. This is a Merrell. There's lots of companies doing really cute shoes and stuff, but that are more functional for your feet. That's the word. It's not even this one that I use typically. See how thick this is? It's like putting our feet in boxes. And we put our feet in boxes with pillows wrapped around them all day long. And then we wonder why our feet are bothering us. You got to think about that. Okay. So I'm going to put my shoe on. I have my weights ready. Many of you have your leg weights sitting right there in your room. Some of you don't, but many of you do because you got them from me. And they're just leg weights, okay? Now, a lot of people will get a leg weight, strap them on, and walk around. That is not how you want to use a leg weight, okay? Leg weights are used for your specific muscles. You have to be pretty stable in your back and your tummy when you use a leg weight. And a lot of people say, oh, how heavy of a leg weight? How heavy of a leg weight? So I'm going to start with my leg weights in my hands. See this? So this is a strap-on leg weight. These are some of the better ones to get. This is from Fitness Gear. Anyway, you can take these bars in and you can take them out. Okay. This one, I'm not sure what these are. I think these are 8, maybe. They're not 10. Anyway, so here's my leg weights. I'm going to start with them in my hands. And you know you have these weights. You know they're sitting around, but we haven't touched them. I know it. I'm just as bad as everybody else. Here's my leg weights. Pick them up. Put them in your hands. Just hang on to them just like this. So I think that these are a 5-pound each. That's what I think these are. But you can make them 3 because you can pull the bars out. Well, so what have I done? Number 1, I have my very flat type shoes, more barefoot type shoes. I've worked up to being able to wear these with my foot, okay, with my feet. I couldn't just do the barefoot shoes just right off the bat. Don't do that. That's not how you do it. First of all, go find you a barefoot shoe. This was from Merrell. It offers a little support and a little protection for your foot, the footbed. See, I have my 5-pound weights right here. That's the first thing to do. Number 1, drop your elbows. Number 2, drop your shoulders. See how I'm walking? I'm doing heel toe. I'm fully rotating from my toe to my heel now as I walk backwards. And I'm going to fully rotate heel to toe. See this? A lot of us that have toe issues. See my elbows? Drop them. Drop your shoulders. See this move right here? Right here. See this? This is a big deal for a lot of us. Okay? You know why? Because we have things like bunions. We have things like hammer toes. We have things like corns. It makes you not fully flex your toe. So I've just put 10 pounds on me right here. That's number 1. And instead of jacking up my shoulders like this, I'm dropping my shoulders. Okay? Now I'm going to swing the other leg through. See this? So as I do this simple thing, and you may not even be able to swing your foot through fully. See right here? See that? My toes are very flexed now. See this? See, you're not even, you don't even have to swing your leg through to get the foot action started. This could be one of those 2-minute thingies that we do, these 2-minute little action plans. Little 2 minutes, you do a roll through. I call this just a roll through, okay? A step through is when we actually step. Take a breath. You've been holding your weights right here, correct? Okay, now take a walk. You're gonna walk back. And if you're struggling with your balance this morning, don't go so narrow. Go a little wider. See this? See this? Really think. Drop your elbows, drop your shoulders, take a breath through your nose. Now, toe, press that heel down. Toe, really flex the toes. Push the heel down. So because I put my foot in a very minimal shoe, they call it minimal shoes or functional shoes or barefoot shoes. Merrell has some. There's whole companies that are devoted just to what I'm talking about here. So I'm doing some very careful walking. Because why? The biggest reason, number one, is to get my toes and to get my Achilles tendon on board with movement this morning. One of the best things you can do for yourself that we have not done, which is why some of us are in our trouble with our feet, is we didn't warm up our feet. Oh my goodness, now I'm gonna do a walkthrough. See, I'm walking through and then I'm gonna walk back. So I'm staying on one leg. When I swing this leg up, what am I doing? I'm standing on one leg for just a few seconds, maybe one. See, take your time. When you go to sink to the front and then to the back, I'm encouraging you to drop your shoulders, drop your elbows. You have these leg weights right here. See, I'm just hanging on to them. And I'm doing a walkthrough. I'm walking through. I'm rotating that back foot. Then I'm coming back. I'm putting the pressure on the toes. Then I'm dropping the heel. Now at this point, right now, before we go to the other leg, I have my leg and back. Number one, drop your shoulders. Number two, breath through your nose. Number three, tight tummy. Now I'm going to bend that knee down and I am not going to let my heel to come up. I know it. It should get your attention right there. You should feel the heel cord stretching, but we're not just sitting on it. Do you see this? See how I'm doing a little pulse down and then come back up, take a breath. Now bring that leg to neutral and step through with the other one. Okay, right there. Right there. Drop that back heel. Okay, get ready, get ready. We're going to bring it back. Okay, drop the back heel. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, drop the back heel. Make sure that your foot in the back is not turned out or turned in. It should be pretty straight on. So I can just tell you that when I drop my knee in the back, I keep my heel down on the ground. I don't feel near the tightness in my calf or Achilles and my back leg on this side than I do on this side, okay? So take a breath, bring those weights down. And if you had a pretty good weight right here on your shoulders and you kept it there for a while, yeah, it should have gotten your attention. Okay, now I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to go out with them. I'm going to bring those weights right here in the middle. Kind of cradle with my fingers laced. See this? Now what did I do? I did a crucial change to my postural stance. What did I do? When I had them here, I was up like this, right? I said, go out. And then I brought my hands in, and what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I hip hinged, but guess what some of you did? Some of you buckled your knees and you rounded your back. Okay, so let's do it again. How did I know that? I'm hoping not too many of you did, but I'll guarantee you did a little bit. So what I want you to do is pretend I'm right there with you. And you know what I would be doing? I would be standing behind you or kind of to the side. The minute you bring your hands around here, I would be poking you here because I want the tummy to be tight. And I would be running my hand right here, because what you do is when you go from here, you start to buckle in here and you round. And that is totally not what we want to do. Okay. So when I step wide, and you can have your toes out a little bit, that's okay. They're pretty much straight, a little out, spine. When you bring them in, be very mindful. What is happening at your hip and what is happening with your vertebrae? It needs to be in an extended posture, okay? Now I'm doing a very gentle hip hinge, bringing that weight, let it just pull me down here. But my shoulders are down. My chin is tucked. I don't have to go deep, okay? So last thing, when you stand fully up and you have these weights right here, your shoulders are down, take a breath, yeah? But did you tighten your gluteals right this minute? Yeah, and so if you did not, what you want to do is when you come right here, pretend somebody's coming at you with a shot. I know. Okay, so just come right here and come right here. So for anybody that has arthritis in their back, has osteoporosis, and you know it, some of us haven't, we don't know it. Take a big breath. As you're coming right here, you've got to be very, very mindful that your hip hinge is working. When you come to the top, you squeeze your gluteals. Right there. Now release. Come right here. The knees are bent. The hip is hinged. My shoulders are down. Take a big deep breath. Squeeze your butt right now. Yeah. Now bring those legs in. Bring those weights right here. Big breath through the nose. And we're going to come narrow. We're going to come tandem. We're going to go tandem. And then we're going to go wide. And here's the deal. You have weights in your hands. You are going to be doing patterned stances. So you come back in narrow. You go back out wide. Then we're going to come back in narrow. Then we're going to do a tandem. So we go one leg over the other, or foot, I should say, over the other. Keep your heels down, okay? My knees are soft. Now I'm going to take the front leg. I'm going to go to the back. And I'm going to try to stay on that line. It's going to be challenging, depending on how much weight you've got in your hands. Hold it right there. The knees are soft. Don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. Now go wide. Okay? Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. You're gripping these with your hands. I know. Now come in narrow. Okay, now we're going to put the other foot in front of your other foot. Okay? If you start really struggling, bend your knees and lower your center of gravity. That should be like second nature. If you're losing your balance. Okay, take a breath. Okay, bring it back. Stay on that line. Try to stay in a tandem stance. See, I'm bending Bending at the knees, lowering my center of gravity by doing what? By hunching and hunkering down? No, no, no. If I lose my balance, just step and get back into it. Bend the knees, bend the hip, come down as far as you can, then come back up. Then step out of it and go wide again. Okay? And I'm doing all this with my leg weights. I'm hanging on to them right here. Okay? They might be 3 pounds each, 5 pounds each, 8 pounds each, whatever you have. Okay, we're ready now. Now I'm gonna step in front of my chair and I'm gonna hip hinge and I'm gonna sit. I have my little balance pad on my chair. Okie dokie. Take a big breath. I'm going to open those legs like this. I'm going to encourage you. Everybody's different, but see, I'm up 2 inches here, right? I'm going to encourage you as much as possible to hip hinge and bring your leg weight with you. And when you come down to apply the leg weight onto your ankle, don't round your back. Okay, now, once I've gotten it on one of my legs, I'm going to put my elbows right here on top of my knees. See that? Yeah. And when I put my elbows on my knees, I'm going to really keep my back extended. Oh dear, can't talk. Okay. So I got it on one leg. Now I'm going to go down. So what am I doing? I'm encouraging you to bend, to get way down here. So you got to go wide with your legs, okay? So when you do bend and come down, you want to feel the stretch in your groin muscles, okay? Right in your adductors, okay? All right, here's my other leg weight. Now I'm going to get down there. I'm going to put it on my ankle. I'm going to strap it on. And now, am I going to come straight back up? Being in such a big downward bend? No, I'm not. I'm going to put my elbows on my knees. I'm going to take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to have my hands assist me in coming up from that huge move. Now, there's a lot of people that might see this and think, what do you mean huge move? Listen, when you have replaced joints, especially in your hips, and you have problems with your back, when you come down here and then you come down here, that is a huge move. Whoa. Don't ask your back, your vertebrae, your muscles to pull you up without help, okay? And it can be a very beneficial help with your arms, and you're still using your back. You're just not putting yourself at risk for your back coming out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here I am. I got my leg weights on. And now I'm going to go right into, I'm going to do 2 different ways without being in the floor. I'm going to, of doing this next very important move. So I'm going to come open, number 1, close, number 2. So the very first thing I would need to do is, if I were working with you and we were going to do these moves, is I would want to see what's the ability that you have of hip hinging forward without any pain or discomfort, and then back. And when you do go back, you tuck your chin. When you go forward, you keep your rib cage lifted, shoulders down, and you hip hinge. And you come down as far as you need to touch your hands on the floor. Okay, so this move right here, for anybody that's having significant problems moving through their hips with whatever it is. This is a supported type of a very functional move. See, if I bring my hands in and I go from that to this, so it's that range right here, this right here, that's what will, I've seen it happen 100 times or more. Somebody will totally disregard a lot of the cautions that I'm throwing out, which is using your hands. But when you come to this point and you're going to go down now, and now from here to up, you got to be very circumspect. You got to be really thinking. Use those back extensor muscles that go, they're deep, deep, deep in your core, and they're going on either side of your vertebrae. And it's for you to get down here and to bring your hands down this far and then to come up. Some of you shouldn't do it actually without using your hands, okay? Because it's too much for whatever condition you're dealing with. Maybe it's osteoporosis, maybe it's arthritis. Very difficult to move. And so what's the first thing your doctor wants you to do? Move. So I'm trying to make sense out of this, okay? So I have leg weights on, and I just did an extremely important functional move right now. This move done incorrectly, to tie a shoe, we put on leg weights, to put on socks, whatever, pick up something, and then come up, that is a highly, that's a highly injury-prone move. If you aren't really understanding how to do it without assist, how to do it with assist. And that move, getting that low and feeling that stretch that many times that we've done it now, I've done it at least 6 times, I think, is a big deal. Okay, so I've beaten that one to death, but I swear every time somebody gets to this level, what they do is round their back. Well, you've totally taken your support systems out when you do that. So either don't go down that far or bring your leg up and just work in a smaller range. See, I'm going to go back, but it's right here where people start to lose it. See? So I hope that helped you a little. Okay, moving on now. I'm going to go ahead and stand up. Okay, I've fully rotated through my groin muscles, my adductors, abductors. Well, not abductors, adductors, these ones. Okay, we really stretch that. That's the virtue of spending some time doing what I just did, especially raising yourself 2 inches. Okay, now I'm going to do this in 2 different positions. Okay, I'm going to go to the least challenging one first. So how am I going to do that? We're going to do it with a chair. And I'm going to hold, I'm going to almost be standing. So this move done from a standing position, leaning just a little bit forward, is also going to be done in a lower position. And we've many times done it from the floor. I'm not going to get in the floor, I don't think. Let's see how we feel. So we'll stand here. We'll put our leg back right here. See that? I'm going to put pressure on this leg right here. All right? I'm going to drop my shoulders, press down on my chair. And for this one, you're probably going to put one hand in the middle because you're going to be using opposite hand and opposite foot. All right? So if you put this leg back, then this hand's going to go in the middle and you're going to raise this hand right here. Okay? So drop your shoulders, elbow is slightly bent, And you're just going to raise it like you're looking out in the ocean or something. See, like that. Okay, and if you need to have your hand in closer, if you have a shoulder issue, a neck issue, then bring your hand in closer, kind of like you're looking. So already I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on this leg, okay? This one. The knee is soft. I hope you're catching that. Tight tummy, shoulder down. Put your hand on the chair, push down, don't pull it. And squeeze your gluteal. After you bring your hand right here, like you're looking, you got to contract right here. Squeeze it. Tight tummy. And then you're going to bring that leg up while you're looking. Okay? So this move right here, you can hold it, bring it back in, take a breath, drop your shoulders, exhale. Bring it back in, drop your shoulders, breathe through the nose, lift with a squeezed gluteal right here. Boom, right there. See that? And bring it back in. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Drop your shoulders. Exhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring it back in. I got two more. Here we go. Breath. Exhale, squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Bring it back in. One more. Bend that knee in the front. Drop your shoulders. Breath. Now exhale. And come back in. Bend the knees and bring the foot back in. So you could do this whole thing with no weights on your legs, and it would still be a challenge. You'd start feeling it after about 6 to 10 reps. So now I'm going to change. This leg is in, this leg is back, and I'm just raised my heel just a little bit. See that? So I've got 5-pound weights on my legs. All right. I'm going to drop my shoulders. Here's my hand, opposite to the leg that's back. Got it? Take a breath. I'm going to lean in with the knee bent. And what am I going to do before I release my toe back here? You should be yelling at the screen. Squeeze your butt. I should be able to come in your room right now, and this butt should be so tight that I could crack a pecan on it. I hope you're laughing. Drop your shoulders. Ready? Breathe in. Squeeze your gluteal. And you're going to do your little salute right here. See that? Drop your shoulders. Okay, now squeeze your butt. Lift. Breath. Exhale. Bring it back. Take a breath. Okay, we're going to exhale and lift with a straight leg and a very, very tight gluteal. Breath, 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 breath. Take little breaths right here, little breaths, then come back in. If you hold it, then you have to do little breaths. Take a breath, drop your shoulder. Okay, ready? See, you're doing a little salute. Drop your shoulder. Okay, squeeze your butt. Do not lift your leg unless you squeeze your butt. Okay, breath, exhale, lift. Hold, 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 and bring it back in. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. You're pressing right here. Okay, just pressing down. Here we go. Salute, take a breath, exhale, lift. Big squeeze right here. Woo! Big squeeze. Yeah. Come back in. 3 more. Here we go. Salute. Drop your shoulders. Exhale. Lift. 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 Come back in. Come back in. Here we go. Salute. Drop your shoulders. Breath and squeeze the butt. Exhale. Whew. Right there. Right there. Right there. come back in, come back in. Take a breath, drop your shoulders. Salute. Exhale. Make sure you're squeezing the gluteals. Boom. And come back in and come back in. Okay? You should be feeling quite a lot of load right here in a good way. So let's release that. How do we do that? We go to a little wide, a little tiny, modified hip hinge, and then we turn. We just do a rotation turn. Yeah, in the transverse plane. See? Totally will release that tightness that you felt. And why do you have the tightness in your back? Because you contracted your back muscles. Yes, and you contracted your gluteal. They work together. Okay? Take a big breath and just do this until you feel like it's releasing a bit. Okay? And you can pivot. Not big. You can pivot. Okay? Or not, and just go back and forth until you feel like it's released a bit. Got it? Okay. So let's do the opposite of that move. I'm still here with my chair. I've still got my leg weights on. And as I talked about earlier in this session, I have flat or minimal tennis shoe, a very minimal. A little support. Other than barefooted, you could do this whole session barefooted if you wanted to. So what am I doing? I'm doing a weighted knee lift. See that? Now, when you come up to that point, don't just put it down and start rocking and rolling and swinging this one. No. When you have leg weights on, you don't do anything in a fast trajectory. No, you just don't. You think. You make sure that you've checked your posture. That's so important. You have safety measures in place. You're going to shift. Yeah, if you can do this without touching anything, great. But I can tell you, this is my hip replace side. When I go and lift, I need this here or I'm going to over lean. And why is that a problem? Because that's just making my muscles over here that are strong, stronger. I want the weaker muscles to work. That's why I don't want to you see people constantly out walking around, myself, yourself, waddling through our day. And why do we do that? We're trying to avoid pain. That's why. If you've got a pain in your hip, in your back, you need a proper diagnosis, number one. But number two, that's not functional walking. Okay, so you need to use walking poles, aka a cane. Walking poles, okay? We'll use Kay's walking poles. But look at this. Look at this. I'm going to bring this leg up, and I'm using my stomach and a little help here so that I use the weaker muscles in my leg here to hold me. And you'll say, I could hear somebody say, well, the leg with the weight on it's not doing anything. And they would be incorrect. I didn't, say they're dumb or they're uninformed. Okay, put that leg down. So what did I just do? I put, with extra 5 pounds, my whole body weight into this structural pole. Okay, I'm using very little help with my hand now, but coming up and coming down is a big deal. In back extensors, stomach, gluteal, quads, hamstrings, feet. Because when you shift now, and you're going to bring this one up, so I did several on this side. Now I'm going to shift. This is my knee replace side. That's why it looks a little wonky. Some of you might have noticed it looks not quite like this one. I've had 5 operations on this and then ended up with a total knee replacement. It's gonna look a little screwy, but it works. So drop your shoulders. Number one, I'm gonna lean in here, and sure, it'd be great if you could bring this leg up and not use anything, but have this here just in case, okay? So now my knee is soft. I am not locked. No, don't lock it. I'm up here taking big breaths through my nose. I'm keeping this leg up here. I'm really working my foot and ankle. Huge right now. Whoop, see? And then I started coming over, so I have to put it down. So when you feel yourself losing your balance, either go right ahead and step down, then get back into it, or put your hand on your chair just to keep it up there, okay? So I'm gonna do it one more time on this side, and then we'll go back and forth, okay? So shift. I'm still on the same leg. I'm trying to do it with no hands. Drop your shoulder. So these are specific balance strength moves. That's what these are, because we've added leg weights, okay? So right now, you're gonna be very tempted, A, to lock this leg, don't do it, and B, you're scrunching your toes. You want to splay those toes, open them. And the minute that you open your toes, you're gonna almost lose your balance. That's how important your toes are. So when somebody say, oh, I stubbed my toe and I think I broke it. Okay, that's a huge point of stability that they just are gonna be compromised in. So be aware of these things. Okay, big breath, yes. Now I'm gonna turn, put my hands on my chair, right here. And I'm going to now I'm gonna bend at the knee. The other one that we did beforehand, we didn't bend at the knee. Some of you might not have got that. And you brought this leg up by doing this. That's not what we did. We tightened in here at the gluteal and we went straight back, right? Okay. This time, we're gonna soften the knee, drop the shoulders, put our hands on the chair, and bring the heel to the hip. And we're gonna do a little repeat. See, it's not fast, but it's definitely a full curl, okay? And when you bring it to the top, where you're bringing your heel to your butt, do not bring it in tight. That would not be smart. And some of you will find that out if you do it. your hamstring will like cramp up on you. If that happens, put your foot down and just put the heel down and go into a nice, gentle hyperextension. Then you drop your shoulders, take a breath. Do you see where my foot is starting from? If that's too much for you, bring the foot almost to the instep of your other leg. And then bend your heel to your hip, okay? And try to get 10 lifts. So I'm gonna go back here. You may not wanna go back that far, especially if you have weights on your legs. And if you've had a knee replaced, a hip replaced, and or both, then by virtue of that, you have dropped your function and strength in your hamstring. So do you see this right here? So my goal would be to be able to very controlled get that heel to my hip. If I start feeling it tightening up, I will halt, put the foot down, push my hip forward, stretch the heel down. See, just let it stretch out gently, then I'll come back in. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, push down, tighten, and heel to hip, okay? Watch this leg right here. Lots of us like to lock it. I don't know, that's just what we do. Take a big breath, see this? So you get to where you can do some of these curls You can either put heavier weights or you can increase your repetition. Do not increase your repetition if you've lost your form, okay? So every time I do this, if you want to make it harder, just don't push down on your chair. Keep this knee bent, rib cage up. Keep your hands right over the chair. If you need it, then grab it, but push down on it. Okay, so in the middle of our set, we'll switch. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and for me, I have 5-pound leg weights on, and I just put my leg back. Okay, that may be too hard for some of you, too challenging. Bring your foot in, see, so that it's in the back of this one just a little bit. You'll have to experiment with that. If I was there, I could kind of guide you as to where to go, but you got to do it. Okay, so I'm going to start back here. I'm going to drop my shoulders. If I want to make it harder, I'm just going to hover right here over my chair. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Tighten your tummy. Drop your shoulders. Squeeze your gluteal and pull. See that? Don't go fast. Pull. Don't go fast. Don't kick it. It's a slow, even squeeze. Yeah. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders every single time. Exhale. Take a breath right now. And then exhale as you bring that heel to your hip. Take a breath. Exhale. Don't go fast. If I'm going too fast, don't just do the speed that you need to do it at. Now, paying attention to the supporting leg as you're curling. Keep your feet, your toes as flat open as you can. Don't squeeze them. Again, if you want to make this harder, take one or both hands off of the chair. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Boom, right there. See, bringing that heel to the hip. I have a little lean out from the hip. Right there. Take a breath. Woo! Take a breath. Drop your shoulder. Go. Okay, 2 more. Okay, 2 more. I'm trying to get a set or 2 of 10 in. Kathy will tell us exactly what we've got. Okay, here we go. Release your butt. Totally release it. Push your hands right here. Soften your knees. Drop your shoulders. And really press those hips forward. Okay, drop your shoulders. Press. This is not the time to tighten your butt. Not right now. And then come back. Very slowly. Okay. Yay! All right. We've got our leg weights on. I'm not going to go walking around with leg weights on. And if you see somebody out, I won't say idiot. I don't think I'm supposed to say that anymore. But if you see some uninformed person walking around, even running with leg weights on, well, give them my card. They should not do that. So what I am going to do is carefully ambulate over here. I'm going to pick up either a moderate weight in my weights here. But see what I have sitting right here, I might pick up 9-pound to 9-pound. What I'm going to pick up for the purpose that I'm trying to show you right now are my 2 carries. And if you have that in a bag or a jug, which I do right here, great. If not, just pick up 2 8 or 9-pound or 10-pound hand weights, because we're going to step out here and we're going to do a hip hinge. And when we come up, we're going to do a slight knee raise because we're going to take advantage of our carries in a fold and then a standing up. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm about shoulder width, okay, about shoulder width with my feet. And take a big breath. I'm going to go down with my carries and I'm going to drop my butt. Then I'm going to pull those weights right into me. I'm going to come up and I'm going to shift, go to my toe, and then pull it up just a little bit. And then switch and pull, tighten my tummy, and just going to pull my knee up just a little bit, okay? So here we go again. So I'm using some extremely functional muscles right now, okay? I'm just using them in a fitness or a training modality. So I'm about shoulder width. Take a big deep breath, check in with yourself. Okay, exhale. Okay, get ready, take a breath in. Come down, exhale, take a breath. Now exhale, come up, shift, go to the toe, drop your shoulders, bring that knee up, put it down, shift, tight tummy, bring that knee up, put it down, then fold. See how I'm bringing it right down here? I'm not going as far as I could, but come down into a fold as much as you can and then press into your heels as you're exhaling. You've got a load here. You're going to shift and shift. Okay, I'm going to do something different here. Shift and just go back with the heel. Back with your toe down and then drop your heel. Then step back into that wide stance. Drop your shoulders, tighten up. Exhale, step back. Okay? And then come back in. So why am I doing all of this? I have leg weights on. That changes everything. So your proprioceptive muscles, especially your core, your back, your tummy muscles, your gluteals, and now I put a load up on top. Okay, that changes everything. So now I'm going to shift. I'm not going to bring the knee up, but I'm going to put my heel forward. Then I'm going to come back. Okay, soften your knees, drop your shoulder, tighten your tummy, shift, bring the foot forward to put your heel down first, and then come back. Okay, see, I'm just kind of crossing over, bringing my heel forward. And you have to get that shifting going on. Heel, come back, okay? Then I'm gonna go back again. So these little tasks that I'm having you do, put your heel down, bring it back, take a wide stance, drop your shoulders, breath. Now take a step back. Yeah, it's a big deal because you're demanding a lot of your balance systems in your brain, in your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments. Now, since we're right here, we got our little load here. So since this is 10, this is 10, okay? Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go tap down, pull, down, go into your heels. See, I'm right here. I'm pushing into my heels. I'm going to bring it up. Pull, breath, pull, breath, pull, breath, pull. And see, I'm just coming down into a natural fold here. I'm keeping my heels down. Keep your heels down, keep your back very extended. Breath, breath, breath. And leave them and stand up. Put those thumbs back and pull back with your shoulders down. Big breath. In through the nose. Just push those thumbs back. almost like your palms are up. But I would come into you right now, and the first thing I'd do is walk over and put my hands on your shoulders. I know. How did I know that? I just did. Okay. Now I'm going to go into, with my leg weights, a wider, see in between here, I'm not tandem now, but it's a wider step forward, okay, just like I was gonna walk, but wider. And now I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm gonna lean in, and the only reason I'm putting this one in is to get K. Okay, so here's the deal. I got leg weights on. My knees are soft. I'm hip hinging, okay? As I hip hinge, you're gonna put much more pressure right through here. You're supposed to. When I go back like this and I'm down, then I'm gonna pull up and I'm pushing. So I'm doing push-pull type activities, but it's a great move for that front leg because I've got to keep stable as I do this huge shoulder. The shoulders need to be coming in tight and then come back down and come up. So if you stood here and just did this, if you did this as a 2-minute little thing, you do 1 minute on one leg. See how I'm leaned out and I push, leaned out and push. Man, that's getting that gluteal and all those leg muscles really working. Okay, step forward, but wide, because I want you to hold your balance. And we're gonna open back, okay? Chin is tucked, open back, drop your shoulders, don't lock your joints, okay? Now I'm gonna bend forward, bring those hands in, pull back. So it's right here, right in that front leg, okay? It's not, you know, it's not like excruciating, but you're engaging this. And as you're pushing up, you're pulling back, okay? Push, pull back. It's a push-pull. Yeah, any good gardener knows this move. But I see people out in the garden and in their yard constantly, and they're rounding their back. Ugh. So I'm just saying, take the time, and this move, again, use it through your day. See how many you can get done in 1 minute. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that because then you're gonna rush. I'm just gonna say work at it for a minute. Don't see how many you can get done at all. That's rushing, because the first thing that I see people doing on this move right here is they round their back. I'm hip hinging. My chin is tucked. Man, everything is getting pushed right here, right there. You going around your back or you don't come down, you're not going to get into these muscles, and that's the muscles I'm trying to get into right here, especially for those of us with wonky hips, some replaced joints, we have some arthritis, etc. So once I've done that, now I'm ready to finish the last part of this thing. We've got like 1 minute left. Okay, so one thing I want you to notice, when I have leg weights on, I'll either be seated, laying down, or I'll do minimal walking. So now I'm gonna come here, and now all I'm gonna do is put that leg back. I'm gonna put the hand out here, opposite, and I'm gonna lift. Boom, right there. See that? Right there. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders. Right here. Yeah. And we can go up, down with both arm and leg. Then bring that leg in. Drop your shoulders. Take a big deep breath. Put the leg back. Straight legged. Hand is out. and it's an up down. Okay, take a big deep breath. So this is directly working at your back extensors, your gluteals, your hamstrings, your abdominals. Okay, and then come back in. Do a little fold. Release those weights. Release the weights. Do not round your back. Put your hands right here on the chair and straighten your legs. Bring your elbows into the chair. And now pull your whole body into your legs and pull your toes up. Yes. Bring the whole upper body into the legs. Pull your toes up. Your elbows are on your chair. And you should feel a big stretch coming right up those legs. I can tell you mine is much more tight on my knee replace side. That's the way it rolls. Anyway, I hope you were able to do that. And we'll see ya.